friends! I'd like to tell you about this app that I've been using that was promoted on Instagram. In June, I sprained my ankle pretty severely when I was playing tennis, and that first weekend I thought I was going to be a couch person and live on the couch and eat on the couch and not be able to do any activities ever again. I mean, you could say that I was being a little dramatic, but that's how I felt. And as I was scrolling the hours away on Instagram, I came across this stretching app called StretchIt. Stretching seemed pretty feasible, even on one foot, and my only hesitation was the $20 a month charge. But I thought I could try it out for a month, and $20, it's like a gym membership. And here we are, 6 months later, still using it, still enjoying it, and I decided to get the annual membership, so let's talk about why. One of the first things that I noticed about the app was the lack of music, and I didn't even previously know how important choosing my music was until now. When you go to an in-person class, you can't really choose your own music. And even on YouTube, the videos for stretching or yoga, at least the ones that I found, mostly have music in the background that's supposed to be calming and soothing. That's great and all, but I really just want to listen to what I want to listen to, which at first was lo-fi and now more recently has been classical music. Stretching with classical music makes me feel like I'm in a ballet class, like in the old days. One of the really cool things, and I don't know if this is specific to my phone, but it will allow both Spotify and the StretchIt app to work simultaneously, so I can listen to both of the audios from Spotify and StretchIt while I'm stretching. And even if this is a feature that's specific to the Samsung phone, you can still use another device to listen to your background music. After taking a class with each of the instructors available, I discovered that I have a preference for instructors who talk through the class.
And lift chest high for 2. Holding here. 10. 9.
There's nothing wrong with voiceovers, it's just a style preference.
Here for 3 to 5 breaths.
It also seemed like there were fewer countdowns, so there wasn't any light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak.
Use the push of the leg.
They're all great instructors, but my favorite was Alicia.
3, 2, lower down carefully. Whew.
She just has a really warm, inviting personality, and if I wanted to, I could filter by instructor. But like I said, they're all really good. You can also filter on difficulty, duration of the class, and equipment, which I use quite a bit because I'm not always home. Though if you're using the web version and not your phone, I noticed that there's not an option to filter by instructor or equipment. There are only really 2 features I don't use on the app. The first one is a notification feature, so at the end of each class, you get the option to set a reminder for your next class. I just about disabled all of my phone's app notifications, plus I have another way of reminding myself to do my stretches, which is why I don't really use that feature. The other feature that I don't really use is the search functionality, and that's because of the way that I personally use the app. Most of the time, the way I'll use the app is that I'll open it and do the next class in my program. In StretchIt, a program is a curated list of classes designed with a certain goal in mind. For example, I'm just about to finish up the Everything Splits Challenge program. I still can't do the splits, but that probably has a little bit more to do with my lack of consistency doing the program's assigned classes. Pretty close though. Sometimes I don't have enough time to do the next class in the program, which is when I'll look at the daily stretch or the new classes also on the homepage. It's a very straightforward, uncomplicated way of using the app, but I am still a completionist at heart, which in this case means that I'm trying to take all of the classes in the app, which brings us to my complaints. Number 1 is not being able to create saved lists. So the saved option in the screenshot here is an example of what it could look like. It's not a feature that's actually available. For example, if I take a class and I think, wow, this would be really great after a tennis game, there's no way for me to find that class again. The app does have training history, which is all of the classes that you've taken, but then I would have to remember which date I took that class that I liked, and I just don't have the memory for that. Technically, Technically, you can mark a class as one of your favorites, but I'm using the favorites functionality as a way of keeping track of all of the classes that I've done so far, which is where number 2 would really come in handy, because number 2 is to have a way to distinguish between which classes I've taken when scrolling through the list of classes. Again, this screenshot is potentially what this feature could look like if it existed. Goodreads has red, and YouTube has a little red bar at the bottom. That being said, these are really small complaints, and they could still potentially, maybe, possibly be introduced on the app one day. There are a ton of stretches that I still struggle to do, but I use the app almost daily at this point, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and sometimes even Austin will join me, and if I'm lucky, our little pup. In addition to physical therapy, stretching helped me stay active while healing from my tennis injury. Also, I've noticed a significant improvement in my posture. If you're interested in that or just moving your body a little bit more, I put a link to the app in the description below, because I would recommend StretchIt, even if you just want to try it out, even if you think you'll only have it for a month, just like I did. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye! She did it!